Hi everyone. Sorry, I completely forgot to start talking. I was just busy thinking of an extra story to pop into this podcast, and I went, "Oh, the news is nearly finished. I better say something now, hadn't I?" Anyway, thank you. Thanks for listening, everyone. First of all, particularly for those people who've been with me since the beginning of this. The old crew. I haven't worked out how to text yet, and I haven't checked to see even though I've got any text messages. But until I tell you how you need to do it, I'm not really surprised. So yeah, I'll try and aim for that one. I'll diarise that one for the end of the month. It might happen, it might not. I've got quite a busy month as usual. I've got loads of stuff I'm usually doing. So I thought I'd do one about Easter, okay? Because Easter is at the beginning of April this year. And I thought I'd do a podcast on some things you could do at Easter, and also some Easter gifts that aren't chocolate based, okay? Because lots of chocolate now, it contains palm oil, and I think, highly aware now that we're going to have to ship palm oil over, and it's going to end up, I don't know, is that a good idea with the cost of crude oil? It's taking up oil resources, isn't it? Which people probably need for other things, more importantly. Would it not be a better idea for us to use local milk? Just saying, putting that out there. But anyway, so I'm buying Toblerone because it hasn't got any palm oil in it. So Toblerone, please don't change the recipe before Easter, right? Okay. If you haven't tried the caramel one, it's absolutely divine, gorgeous. Caramel. I don't know if everybody knows. I have issues with tinnitus. And it's made worse by chocolate, but I found that I can eat the Caramac one without any issue whatsoever, really. It's not caused me any major problems, so that's really good news for me. I'm very happy about that, very excited. It means I can have some chocolate. But I just wanted to go about, so first of all, I watched Johnny English, okay? There's 2 Johnny English films on there. I'm not sure if I've seen this first one before, or maybe I just have, and it was such a long time ago. It's one with Natalie Natalie Imbruglia. What is going on with my pronunciation at the moment? I think it's probably I'm tired. So it's got her in it, and there's a great one, and the thing that, and I was laughing out loud at it. It was absolutely hilarious. It really made me laugh. And I think at times like this, when things are a little bit down in the world, we need to make sure we have comedy in our lives, and we need to watch something, happier. So I remember when I was married, and things would be a bit tough. Finances were always a massive struggle. We'd have unexpected bills popping up, and I'd be scraping around trying to work out how to find that money to pay for them. And I could have done with watching some comedy to cheer me up, but instead the ex-husband just used to watching murder things and things that were really depressing, and that's not good for your mental health at all. Things for that are good for your mental health are comedy. We all need that. We all need the lift and the laughter. And I used to be really, really funny. That's how one of my friends described me. When I hadn't seen her, I was I said to her, I'm struggling. I've lost my sense of humor. And she's like, but you used to be really, really funny. You were hilarious. So I'm trying to work on getting that back. I'm trying to do my social media posts. I've put some hopefully more humorous ones out there, and I'm going to try and work on the comedy element of things, and we'll see how it goes. But so one bit that really made me laugh is when the fake Archbishop of Canterbury, bends over, and you see written on across his arse, Jesus is coming. And that made me laugh because we're heading for Easter. And I kind of thought, well, how many people actually can remember what Easter's supposed to be about? Because people just think, Easter's about chocolate eggs, but actually it's not. And I'm not particularly religious, but I kind of wanted to do, what is Easter about? Because I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot more talk recently in the media about Jesus and afterlife and resurrection and stuff like that. So anyway, Easter is actually to honour the resurrection of Jesus 3 days after he died on the cross. And with the doomsday clock set at 85 seconds to midnight, and that was before Trump invaded Iran or bombed Iran, we're expecting Jesus to reappear anytime soon. And before that, he'll send an angel. He'll prove beyond any reasonable doubt that reincarnation exists. This is what the prophecies actually say. So basically, we're looking for someone who's seen an angel, right? Right now. I don't know if anyone's noticed that James Blunt keeps posting about Christmas, the birth of Jesus. And did you know that the midpoint between my birthday, 26th of October 1973, and his, 22nd of February 1974, and there being 59 days either side, is wait, oh, it's Christmas Day. So I'm just going to leave that there with you to resonate and have a think about it all. So this year, I thought I'd have a look at gifts other than chocolate that you could put, for someone that are more thoughtful, okay? Because it's really easy just to go and buy an egg, isn't it? And most of them contain palm oil, as I said, so rather than milk-derived products. But so you know what? I thought I'm not going to buy people an Easter egg this year. I'm going to get a non-Easter present. So you could get some dried flowers, okay, which will last a nice while. And I just remembered actually artificial flowers are quite good. They're, at the moment as well. I went to go and have a look. Apparently there's loads in a shop near where we went on away for the weekend. Because my mum had some. I walked into my mum's house and went, oh, they're really nice flowers. Who got you those? And she's like, oh, they're artificial. I got them from the shop. They're only £1 each. Some shop in Middlewich somewhere. And they're great. They look really, really realistic, and they kind of brighten up her living room. And I thought, actually, that's quite a good idea, isn't it? Because, the cost of things are going to go up. We want to have like nice things and nice flowers and stuff. We wouldn't be able to maybe necessarily afford them. So if you're in that situation, then why not just, put some artificial ones in a vase and make it look nice? So I might do that. You can also get a nice vase, which would make a really nice gift. You could buy floral gift art. A piece of art, supporting a local artist, given I'm an artist and I'm about to put some stuff up for sale, but not necessarily for Easter. I'm obviously going to plug that, aren't I? You could get a spring-themed afternoon tea somewhere or plan one yourself, couldn't you? How about some flower-shaped earrings or a necklace or a brooch? Obviously not going to get your partner that. I could just see my partner wearing a floral necklace. I don't think so somehow. A nice floral candle would be a really, really good choice because people like candles. Something personalised as well is always a really, really good choice to get. There's loads of personalised options there out now. There's loads of stuff. A personalised wash bag or something like that. Or you could get a cookbook, Delia, Jamie. There's loads. They're my particular favourites, but there's loads of ones out there that you could try. Mugs are a good choice as well, although I'm not going to get my partner one of those. He's got a massive cupboard full of mugs, and you take your life in your hands when you unload the dishwasher mug section and try and stack them. They're like 3 upwards, and I don't like to say to him. So he's got is it 2 shelves? So it's the bottom shelf. So he's probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, he's probably got about 8 rows. Right, I've got my calculator out. So he's got about 24 mugs, okay, in his house. There's 2 of them living there. That was the conversation I had with my parents. I kind of went back and I was like, guys, you've got about, 30 mugs here. There's only 2 of you and you only have a couple of people around for tea at once. I don't think you really need all of these mugs, do you? Time to demug, take them to the charity shop, because there probably will be other people out there who don't have enough money to buy a new mug. So... Or alternatively, what you could do, you could smash them up and use them as drainage for a planter if you're thinking of planting some veg or, or a nice planter. Because there's something really nice, isn't there, about flowers and stuff. And we did that at the weekend. My partner's got somewhere that he has as a holiday place. And we kind of put some more compost in the planters. We got a new planter because one was broken. And we also got a new, nice new kind of, he's got like a really nice rose tree, so we got a really nice planter for that as well. And then we put some violas, a couple of winter pansies in some of the things, and I put they had like stones and stuff, so I put them all round, and it just looks really, really nice. When we go there, it'll look really nice, and it does make a difference if you can see flowers in the garden. Currently looking out over my neighbour's garden, and she's got a load of she's got snowdrops first of all that appear under the tree, and then she's got daffodils coming through. And my partner and I were commenting yesterday about just how yellow daffodils are. So even if you just bought somebody a couple of bunches of daffodils or something like that, if they're still around, I'm sure they usually cultivate them, might be still around at Easter. They just brighten everything up, don't they? And it's great. So an Easter decoration, a chick or a bunny, you could get something like that rather than just an Easter egg, something that someone can look at and go, I remember getting that, because actually I've got that. I bought like a little kind of glass Easter thing. We did a collection at a garden centre last year, And I thought, oh well, do you know what? I feel a bit kind of, I've got to buy something because I've gone to this garden centre. So I thought, right, well, I'll buy something, and I've still got that. It's actually been up all year, and I look at it and think, yeah, I bought that last Easter, and I've got a story which I've just told you about where I bought it and what it means and why I did it, and so that's actually more important. Whereas I can't really remember who bought me a chocolate egg last year, so I'm going to say I don't want any chocolate eggs this year. I want something else. So what else? What else do we get? Gardening book. Okay, now, to inspire someone, a pot of bulbs or something like that, or gardening tools or seeds to plant, something that's a bit of thought into it. An indoor watering can or a plant pot's always a good idea. Actually, I've just remembered, and this has reminded me actually, but just by doing this podcast, I've reminded that actually I saw a really, really good gift to get somebody. So I'm going to go back and get that where I saw it, rather than like the Easter egg thing. You could get, I think I've already mentioned it, but a nice vase or something like that. Indoor watering can, get some really smart ones, can't you? Or plant pot. And if you're struggling with finances, you can even get some like sort of canned cocktail things, can't you? Drinks things, if you want to get something like that. They're quite cheap. You could do something with it. I don't know. Get a nice glass, a cocktail glass, and that you can make something yourself that are kind of fairly inexpensive. Or a daisy key ring, because I bought my friend. Okay, she's not really. She's more of an acquaintance, but she lost her horse, and she was mortified, and she's got a new one, and so I bought this really nice key ring. And, just to try and remember it, because people were getting flowers and stuff, but they fade and they die, don't they? And I thought, well, I'm not going to get that. I'm going to get something different. So I thought about it for a bit rather than just rushing out and buying something that's easy. And I got this little key ring that's got something in it, and it's got a little wording, which I'm not going to tell you what it is. And she said to me, so, we're 2 months later, and she said to me, you know what, I've thought of a really good use for that key ring. I'm going to use it for X. And I just thought that's really nice that she's got that and she can use it for something because it'll remind her. And so clearly it meant a lot to her because she's still got it, whereas she's probably can't remember the plants and flowers and stuff that she got initially. So these little gifts like that, you think, oh, I can't get someone a key ring. But actually, those are the things that mean things to people. And you could get a daily mindfulness flip chart. Try and, if there's somebody that struggles with their mental health and you want to try and keep them positive, you could get something like that. Some nice hand cream. That's nice, isn't it? Us girlies always like nice hand cream, don't we? Yeah, definitely. A pair of spring socks, Although my partner said, don't buy me socks under any circumstances. He's got like several drawers full. He's having to clear stuff from my stuff. Taken over 2. Yep, just you wait. Or a small bottle of Prosecco, something like that. An egg cup, things that people would actually use and that are useful but are nice gifts as well. Because what's your first egg cup? Can you remember your first egg cup? Okay, there are 2. I'm not sure I've still got one of them anymore. I know maybe we have. I don't know. I don't think I have. I got a feeling I lost that one in the divorce, but I've got like a silver christening one, and it had a spoon with it, which I definitely lost in the divorce. And it was round, and it's got like things. It's silver, or it's stainless steel. Actually, it's not silver. But it's great. It's got it looks like a flying saucer. Actually, having just recorded the UFO podcast prior to this one, but it does look like that. But I've still used it. It's in my parents' house whenever I go. Actually, I haven't got any egg cups here. So I could probably do with getting myself some egg cups, couldn't I? Also, you could do something nice for Christmas. For Easter. You could do a camping trip somewhere. Go bird watching. Visit an English heritage site. Go on a bluebell walk because we're heading for May. There should be some around. You could sit down and plan your holiday for the day. You could visit a castle. We're having friends around to dinner actually at Easter. You could visit a castle, get your bike out, go for a bike ride, or go and visit somewhere scenic. Just get away from where you are now, even if it's not too far away, because obviously, we're going to be, price of petrol is going to be skyrocketing. Obviously, mother's concerned about it. I got a message from her today saying, "I've cooked a big chicken. You can have some for your tea if you want it." Or on Monday. She did it yesterday. I was like, "All right, thank you, mother." So I'll get some wraps and make some chicken fajitas. But that's really nice of her, isn't it, to say that? So explore a stately home. You could go for a walk on one of the UK's national trails. Okay, what else could you do? Because that's really great. You're getting out in nature, getting some fresh air. It's always really good for you. And you can, because and we had this conversation. Now, this could be you. You could be one of two things. So my partner and I were like, it's like my friend said I should go for a walk and put my head earphones on and listen to a podcast. And I was like, but I don't want to do that, because when I go out and walk in nature, I want to appreciate the mindfulness of it all. And listen to all the birds and have a chat to people and the dogs barking. And that's actually quite an important part of actually walking, getting back into nature. Yes, sure, listen to the podcast on your drive there, but you do actually need to, well, you can actually benefit, in my personal opinion, from just being out in nature and hearing the sounds around you. It's quite relaxing, actually. Can you tell I'm really relaxed? We've just spent the weekend somewhere relaxing. We've got this planned, so we're doing one weekend a month away to relax this year. What else could you do? You could go for a walk on a beach. That's quite good, isn't it? Go fruit picking if the fruit are available this time of the year. I'm not sure they are. Might be a bit too early. Go on a digital treasure hunt. You're looking for hidden geocaches. I have no idea what they are, but I saw it as a thing and I thought, right, okay, you could go and do that. Visit a nature reserve. Have a go at lambing. Yeah. You can use that at one of the agricultural colleges or farms. It'd be on Facebook. You could read a new book. Definitely do that. Visit a theme park. Go on a road trip. Although with the price of petrol, maybe you don't want to do that one at the moment. Go and see some wildlife. Go on a steam heritage railway. Enjoy stargazing. You could do that. That's quite good. You could go to the zoo. Obviously, I'm going to recommend Chester Zoo, because it's fairly close to where I live. Given I'm from Chester. People don't know that I'm from Chester, by the way, everyone. I'm from Chester. Chester. Go on a canal boat trip. That's quite relaxing. You could. There's a really good one actually in Cheshire, or it's in Wales actually. It's over the Llangollen Canal. You can go over the aqueduct, and I think they still do meals and stuff like that. You could try an outdoor activity that you haven't done before. There's loads of things, aren't there? You can do like the zip wires, or you can go and do Go Ape, or if that's not for you, you can do Segway in Delamere Forest. That was really good fun. I really enjoyed doing that. You could visit a cathedral. Okay, you could sit down, have a look round. There's some, it's a nice building. They're usually free to get in. Just have to donate something. Explore a garden. There's usually some open gardens. There's a open garden scheme. Go and have a look and see, someone else's garden. You could do a walk to a waterfall. That's usually quite nice. And some of them aren't that far away either. There's loads in North Wales. There's really nice one. It's a bit further away in Betws y Coed. Betws y Coed. That should be correct. My Welsh friend, told me off. I'm pronouncing it Betsy Coed. No, it's Betws y Coed. So hopefully that's right. Anyway, got the Welsh twang at the end. There you are. But that's quite nice, isn't it? There's nothing more spectacular than actually standing and watching a powerful waterfall, coming down, and it's just really, there's something invigorating about it. It's like renewal, isn't it? And all that lot. You could try crabbing, catching crabs. Have I told you this story? I probably have. I'm going to tell you it again because it's quite funny. We were having a conversation at a pub when I was a student, and we were discussing childhood hobbies, and I was only about 18 at the time. I just went, yeah, catching crabs is the best. Well, it was the, what was it? It was Des who drove the yellow banana. That was his car. He had some kind of Ford Fiesta, maybe, yellow banana. Des, Ken, and Rob. And my friend Sarah. And Rob it was hilarious. Right, that's that one. Yeah. So that's why I was like a bit cautious. Try crabbing. Yeah. Right. Visit a market town. They're quite nice, aren't they, to have a bimble about and have a stroll around and, buy an ice cream. Visit an island off the UK. There's loads of them, aren't there? The Isle of Man, I've never been to that one. There's loads of little, like Lindisfarne, or I don't know, off the coast of Scotland. There's loads of them. Go rock pooling. If you've got kids, that's a good thing to do. It's fairly cheap. Just drive to the beach and go rock pooling. You can visit an aquarium. Do you know what? We've got one, Blue Planet. It's near Cheshire Oaks. It's been there for years. I still haven't been to it. Visit a distillery or vineyard. You can do that. That'd be good. And as I say, don't forget to share what you're doing on Instagram. Tag me in, because I've found out that it inspires other people. If people see that you are going and doing other things and you put it all over Instagram, it inspires people to go and do those things themselves. And they think, oh, do you know what? I haven't been there yet. I'm going to go. I've seen it before. I've been popping up when I go like to look around the National Trust things. Yeah, I'll go to that place. And then about a week later, I'll see X has been to the same place. And I actually quite like that. I think we inspire each other to do things. And I think we just have to try and find a way to stay really, really positive and not let the world events drag us down. Because there's nothing we can do about it at the end of the day. We're kind of stuck. And I think we're now fully aware that, the decision of one leader of one country affects the lives of millions of people. And I heard I think it was the leader of Spain. I can't think what his name is. I'm pretty sure it was him. He said that, Trump's playing Russian roulette with millions of people's lives. And it is. And, I get frustrated because I'm recording this a couple of weeks in advance, but, Donald Trump said, oh, the war's going, it's amazing. How can you say that killing people is amazing? I'm sorry, that's just wrong. What sort of monster are you to think that that's possibly okay? Anyway, I'm going to end it there. It's a bit of a solemn note, maybe that one. Maybe I don't want to leave it there. Maybe I'll try and think of something a bit lighthearted to say, but let's put myself on the spot at this early in the morning. But anyway, have a good week. Surround yourself with nice things. I don't know about you, but I've done a bit of a spring clean and I've changed my living room around, okay? I've completely rejigged it. I've got a tiny, tiny house. It's only 2.3 meters wide, but it's 7 meters long, so it's a really unusual space. And I did have, you'll have seen my pictures actually on Instagram, that I had my desk kind of set up underneath the stair section. But the issue I have is it's really dark. The light isn't great for painting there. And also the sofa was kind of like overlooking the fireplace, which was fine, but because it's quite close to the road, you get a lot of idiots razzing up and down, and the noise was really annoying me, and it was really affecting my tinnitus. So I thought, I'm going to have that's right. And then my partner had a spare TV. He's had, every time we've been to his holiday place, I was like, why have you got two TVs? He's like, oh, one's an old one. It's about 10 years old. What to do with it? I could put it on Facebook. So we were sat there and I was like, and I said, right, so you still got that old TV there? And it turns out it's a Samsung TV and it's like 10 years old. And I was like, he said, oh yeah, I need to put that. And I was like, can I have it? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, of course you can. And I was like, right, fine, I'll have that then. So I need to buy myself a TV license now, because I've now officially got a proper TV, whereas just usually watching DVDs or something on Netflix. But I've now got to plug it in and change my account over, which then presents a whole host of other ideas. And I've got a new phone as well. I've got a new phone, so I'm not telling anybody my number apart from a few people, and because we've had two fallings out, which in over a year is not too bad, and the both time we've fallen out is because one of us has possibly been up late, and in his case, he was away the weekend with his mate and forgot to say goodnight to me, so I didn't know where he was or what was happening. I was a bit kind of worried whether he got back okay, and so, and then for me, I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching Bridgerton. And again, I hadn't messaged him in the evening. I didn't realise I haven't got a clock downstairs in my house, and my phone was upstairs on charge because it had run out of battery, which is another reason why I've got a new one. And he didn't know where I was, and he was a bit worried. I kind of thought, well, it serves you right, doesn't it? You did that to me, so now it feels like, don't you? Yeah. It was a little bit of that, but it was also a kind of like, well, do you know what? These are the two things that we've fallen out over. So if I got a new phone, and I've gone with Talk Mobile, okay, I've gone for however many gigabytes for like $6.95, which given I'm paying like £22 for O2 is quite good. So I'm testing that. And if I like that, then I'm going to, when my contract with O2 ends, which I think is quite soon, then I'm going to kick them into touch and just go with Talk Mobile, which means I'll be running two phones for half the price, and I'll keep one for my business. I'm not having any social media on my new phone. It's not going on there because Instagram have got a great thing now where you can schedule posts. So I just schedule things for the week now. I've got X. I don't really use that. And I've got Facebook, but sometimes I do put stuff on Facebook. It kind of just depends. And so I just thought, right, I'm going to, I'll do that. I won't have social media on my personal phone. But it means I can have a great app that my friend Bev recommended to me called 360. And, sometimes you have like groups of family. So for me and my partner, he's got his two daughters on one group, but I didn't want me on the same group. And that was a bit sort of weird. So we can sort out another group. So he sorted out another group. So we can now see where we are. You can see there's me and Paddington and him on his own. It's me and Paddington. It's quite funny. And that's where we are. He can see where I am now at all times. And I can see where he is. So we don't need to worry about each other. Because also I do go off riding. I go off riding on my own. And I had a situation a couple of weeks ago where the pony was being a bit stupid and I had to get off it and lead it and then get back on it after it's calmed down. And I just thought, well, do you know what if I'd fallen off and something had happened to me? I don't have my location switched on my current phone. Well, as a safety precaution, actually, I probably need to have that so that if something does happen to me, then, he can just go, right, okay, do you know what? Here she is, she's there. Right, she hasn't moved from there for a while. That's a bit worrying, So, and you can also get pets added to them as well. I can get some sort of microchip for Pippa and put her on 360. So I'd recommend it, but it's only obviously for people that you trust. If you've got somebody that's a little bit possessive as a partner, first of all, I'd question why. But there we go. I would also sort of say, just be a little bit careful about who you share this information with. If it's somebody you've got a partner and you want to reassure them because he says that you're cheating on him, that's a whole different ballgame. Don't even go there. You need to be looking to get out of that relationship. But if it is purely just because of the couple of instances I've had, and actually it's a safety thing, because I go off walking on my own as well. So actually I probably should have a thing on that there is one person in the world that knows where I am at all times, okay? And that's my partner. I'm not letting my mother have access to it because she'll be constantly tracking me. I never know where you're going anymore. That's what I get from her. I know, it's great, isn't it? It's called freedom, independence. And it's important that we keep that. Right. Anyway, I was telling you about my my room change around. So what I've done is I'm really pleased actually. So I've moved my desk to by the window where it's much lighter, and the lighting also there. I've got the little spotlights, about 6 of them, 6 of them. So it's a really great space to paint. That's much better. I've extended my little kind of I've got like a little seating area to take my boots off and shoes and stuff. And then you come through, I've moved the table next to the fireplace. And I've got the sofa right down the other end of the room, and I've got the TV set out. I just need to get an extension cable to plug it in because it's currently not on because it won't reach the socket, but it's all there. It all looks good. And it's a nice little cozy space. And we can get some mood lighting in it, nice and warm and cozy. It's right by the radiator as well because it was a bit chilly where I was before at the other end of the house. So that solves the problem then of having to get another radiator because, I don't usually... I usually paint in the daytime and it's quite warm, but in the evening it gets a bit chilly. Then you need to be sitting by the radiator. It's nice and cozy. I know it's nice and cozy because the dog was quite happy down there last night, so she was quite comfy. Okay, so I've managed to cheer you up a bit by saying, so spring, spring clean. Don't be afraid to have a change of round of things, So I've got the TV set up as well, which is the primary reason why I had to move everything around because I thought, well, it's not going to work in that situation because you strain your neck. Now I'm actually sort of the sofa out so that it's looking straight onto a TV. So yeah, we're good to go. Anyway, have a fantastic week. As I say, hopefully that's cheered you up a little bit, telling you about my life and what's going on it. And, my thought process and stuff like that. And, so have a good week, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.